What up, homosexuals? What's going on? It's Coach Lorena, and I'm back. This time, I'm back with a new thing. We got Coach Taylor in the house, who is our head coach here at the Queer Gym and has also participated in the one-on-one coaching program. So this is a little bit of like a remix, hybrid type of interview slash hangout slash. I just low-key want to just shoot the shit because we always just have meetings and never get to like really hang out. And even when we meet in real life, we're still kind of working, putting retreats together. So Coach Taylor, you've been working at the Queer Gym since 2024, right after I decided to just blow up the whole fucking thing.
Okay.
And I know you're from Denver, you were living in Oregon, and then you ended up living in Panama. And then while you were in Panama, you found our job listing on the internet, and that's how we got together. But how did you end up in Panama? Because I think you get that question a lot.
I came here on a family vacation, and just so much of my life had like changed in the 2 years from 2019 to 2021, and I just was really feeling like I didn't know what to do, and like the path that I had kind of set for myself just wasn't feeling right anymore, or maybe like not even possible anymore, and I was just really like down and out about it, basically. And I came to Boca's, and it's like it woke me up. I was like, oh my God, I can be like excited about life again. And like, I don't have to live life in like a conventional sort of like prescribed way that I was sort of like pushing myself into, I felt. So basically, as soon as our vacation was over, I was like, I need a plan to like come back. And I really thought, and I told everyone, I was like, I'll just be there like 6 months, like maybe a year. Like, I just want to like reset, like figure out what I'm going to do next. Like, the plan was never to like permanently move myself here. But after 1 month, I knew 6 months is going to go by too fast. I can't just do 6 months. And after 6 months, I was like, well, now I feel like I'm counting down to the year and I don't want to leave. So I just like kind of redefined what my time here would look like. And yeah, for now, I definitely don't see myself moving back to like the US anytime soon.
I mean, low key living the dream of a lot of queers in the US right now.
I got
Okay.
out just in time.
Yeah,
It
no,
was still pretty bad when I got out, to be honest. So I was like, this is not it. This is not cute.
yeah, and it's got worse. So I'm not surprised you're trying to stay there.
Yes.
You're in Panama now. What were you doing before you found the Queer Gym online?
I was basically just supporting myself with personal training people that were here, local to Bocas. And it was tough, man. Like, it took a while. People are so transient here, moving in and out. Like, we're a tourist, basically. It takes a lot to like build up trust with people that you're actually somebody who's going to like stick around. So it took a while for me to like kind of establish myself as like somebody that people knew. And then it was still like this constant hustle of like, everybody travels at the same time. What am I going to do when like my clients are out of town and not going to like pay to see me to work out? And also on top of that, just like, the cost of a personal trainer here does not cost the same as if you're hiring somebody in the US, right? So it's just like on this like constant like hustle slash panic mode of like, oh my God, like how am I gonna make this next month happen for me? And I've been looking for remote work for a while before I found the Queer Gym. And there's actually like divine timing around it too, because I saw a Queer Gym posting pre blow up, but at the time you are only hiring out of certain states. And my address is in Oregon. And so I was like, well, Oregon's not on the list. This looks perfect, but not gonna work. I kept looking, again, just kind of knowing I needed something more consistent, stable, like external of Bocas to be ultimately to be able to continue to live here. And then I was checking again around maybe December 2023, January 2024. And I was like, okay, Queer Gym, like I saw that before, but like, let's just see. And at that point, there weren't state restrictions anymore to like apply. And I was like, well, this is interesting. So yeah, ironically, like if I'd been able to get the job like when I thought I wanted it, I would have been in like the burned down version of the Queer Gym and not in like the Phoenix from the ashes version. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to stay within like what I like in my wheelhouse and what I like, which is helping people move, helping people feel healthier, feel better in their bodies. And like, it's such trash out there. Like, I know that like it's such a trash industry, or it can be like there's so much toxicity, and like the amount of platforms that were either like, okay, you have to create your entire whole client base and then bring it into us, which is like, isn't the point that you give me clients? Isn't that kind of the point? Or else why wouldn't I just run my own business if that's what I wanted? Like if that's the work that I want to put into it, right? Or it was stuff that was like entirely out of alignment with my values, or it just seemed like, like crash diets and like intense calorie restriction just gave me bad vibes, even from like looking at the application questions. So just even on its like in its online presence and like the job posting itself for your gym was just so obviously different. And I was like, okay, I think this will work.
It seemed like a lot of things were aligned. Like one, the timing, because yeah, we had state restrictions because when we went virtual, we don't know what the fuck we were doing. We just launched it. And then I was like,
Mhm.
oh, every state has different rules and different taxes.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. So you linked up with us in February. Since then, you've taught 576 classes to be specific.
I surely looked. Yeah. I looked that up.
So this was your first time training online.
Yeah.
How was that transition for you?
I mean, at first it was like rough because it was like figuring out like, okay, how do I set myself up? Like, stable Wi-Fi connection, good space, good background, and then kind of like there's just a really different energy of like when you're in person with a group, everybody's energy is feeding off of each other in just such a different, sometimes more like tangible way. So it was a lot of trying to figure out like how can I still make this fun? How can I still connect with the people in this space, even though we're doing it through screen? But I think that obviously how the Queer Gym developed its classes kind of like helped break down some of those barriers, like starting with introductions and questions of the day. I've never participated in a gym that has people introduce themselves to each other. That truly, like even like working in like my university, I don't feel like people were like even like talk like there was no prompt to like say hi to your neighbor, like catch their name. So I think like that right away was like, oh, this is like really different. And then just with like the breakout rooms, the online virtual hangouts, I think the thing that I was most worried about was like, I'm not going to be able to like actually connect with these people. They're going to be like robots to me. And like that just so has not been the thing. And then all the rest of it, it's the same shit. Like we're just telling you to do push ups, squats, or like that's kind of the same wherever you are.
Yeah.
But it's like creating the vibe that's like different.
It's all about the vibes. So you were able to connect. You figured out the online coaching, the tech, and the finesse of it all. Then I think the next step we took together was having you actually start doing the one-on-one coaching. What?
What?
I mean, from my end, I can tell you that like that was the next step because at that point I had like major PTSD around like bringing the team around me again.
Yeah.
And I was heartbroken from like a team leader kind of standpoint. So it was definitely like a slow burn. And I remember even like the first maybe like 6 weeks, like your fucking internet was just trash. Like I was like, God damn it, I really like her. I want this to work, but this internet is absolute garbage. It ran out. Like I was literally like, please make it work.
Dude, me too. It's like borrowing friends' houses. Like, what can I do? Like, got a different phone just to like try to hotspot with a different like cell carrier. Like, it took a lot of trial and error. We got a home though.
Yeah. And I think, by that point, not just like you doing a good job as a coach, but just like your communication and like it was clear that you gave a fuck essentially. And at that point, I was like, damn, this is somebody that I think we could really grow with. And so the next step for me was like getting you familiar with the one-on-one coaching. Cause at that point you were just doing classes. You weren't doing any nutrition coaching or accountability coaching, anything like that. So I was like, well, if I eventually want you to get to that, I want you to learn how I teach nutrition and my philosophies and my approach to things. So talk a little bit about what your first impression of that was or what that experience was like. Cause you coached with me starting with fitness and nutrition, and then we moved on to some other stuff, which we'll get to in a second.
It was like a combination of I'm afraid, but I also know that I need this. Like, it's really vulnerable. I'm always so appreciative of the clients that we have because it is such a vulnerable thing to be like, show me everything you eat in a day. Show me how much you weigh every day. How about you just like crack yourself open? Why don't you? Like it's so revealing about somebody's life and lifestyle. And so I was like nervous about that. And then on top of that, you're my boss. And then on top of that, you're my boss within a like fitness and nutrition world. So it's like, this is going to be like scary a little bit. So I'm not gonna lie, like I was so nervous in some ways, but then like, the kind of roadmap that you've developed, I was like, okay, I just have to worry about breakfast right now. I just have to show Coach Lorena that I'm not having bullshit for breakfast. Okay, great. All right, we got that down. Lunch. Okay, and figure that out. So like I had never done any food logging or like tracking before. And I definitely like I brought this up in like the group call that I led like a month ago or whatever. I was just like, coaches need coaches too, because like I was on some bullshit and like moving to like a new country with like a new culture, I would swing between like not having enough work and having so much time to myself to just like kind of do nothing, or having like my roster so full that it was like, not eating lunch and not taking the time for myself. So then to finally have things like balanced out and then taking the time to actually like examine my behaviors, become mindful about my food, it went better than I could have imagined it because I thought it was going to feel restrictive, or I thought it was not going to be able to like enjoy certain types of food, or, like feel like I have to hide it if I do want to enjoy it. And like that was never ever the vibe.
You're right. It was like a very vulnerable personal interaction because of like the different layers to it, right? But I also know that I'm the type of person in general that like if like you're in my circle, like you're in my circle, and like I will beat a bitch up, I will ride for you. And so like I'm like all ride or die, or I just don't fuck with you. Like for me it's like pretty black and white in that scenario. So like, the fact that you had shown up the way that you showed up your first 6 months with us made me feel like, okay, I think this person's like fucking down. And I think I want to, invest in deepening that relationship, both professionally and also like getting to know you more because, yeah, I'm all up in your shit. Right. So, like, props to you for like taking that leap of faith and also allowing me to guide you through that process. I got to give you props because I remember the point where you were like, hey, so I'm doing this coaching thing and I'm cool, but like I'm asking clients to lock in. So I should probably lock in too.
Okay, so I was at a point we had like gone through all of like the phases of like the day, I guess, like with nutrition. So I was like fully logging everything. I was like doing the step goal that we had set for me regularly. I was doing my like workout routine. I remember being at like 155, and I was like, I'm feeling good at this weight, like feeling better than where I started. And I could just like be here and I could coast. And I knew that. I was like, I'm at maintenance right now with how I'm behaving. Like I could be here and I could coast. I think at that point I had had just maybe like 2 months under my belt or something with the like folks that I had started working with. It did get to a point where I was like, I need to see what it's like to not put in like 75% effort just because I'm like comfortable where I am. It's like, so I gave myself the goal of like, okay, I just want to get to like, 150 or below. Not really again, because like the number mattered, but I knew that those 5 pounds are going to be kind of like a bitch. So I knew that it was going to require like a lot of focus and just really getting serious about the behaviors that would be required to be developed to like get there. And like the word that we use like on like the app with my goal was like integrity. I think that's the word that I brought up of like I wouldn't feel like I'm coaching with integrity if I'm saying like you just need to lock in for these next like 16 weeks or whatever. If I myself is not willing to like put in more than like that kind of coasting effort. And your like sustainability model, it went from like the low hanging fruit to like the next phase of like, okay, we need to actually address some like root stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you that I was impressed that like you brought that up. You initiated that conversation because I can't tell you how many people I talk to who work in the self-care space that do not practice what they preach, right? We often hear like, oh, I do so much for everybody else, but when it comes down to me, right? And so to voluntarily be like, I know I'm good, but I'm asking more of people, therefore I should be in alignment with that and do the same. Like I fucks with that hard, like all the way, all the way. Okay, so you fucking locked in, smash a fitness goal. And I think at this point is when you started talking to me about the fucking retreat. I think I said this to you before, but the gym's been around since 2010. And there's been a few coaches in the history of the gym where I was like, ooh, you left a dent in how we do things around here. And I feel like you accomplished that with the whole retreat thing because since that day that you set up a meeting to fucking pitch me and have a deck and finesse the shit out of me to agree to do this retreat, up to that point, I was like, I'm not doing retreats. People get drunk, people start acting ratchet. It just becomes a shit show. I'm not trying to do all that. I just had like PTSD because we had tried retreats in the past and it was just like not a good outcome. So when you brought that up, I was like, no, hell no. And you were like, hold on, but I have this whole pitch. And I was like, I'll listen to it, but I'm not going to listen to it. And then at the end of it, I was like, we should totally do this.
I'm so glad that I didn't know that was your attitude beforehand. To be fair, you seemed very open to the idea.
You know,
Goddamn.
my mind was open, but my heart was like terrified. So
Yeah.
what even got you to that fucking idea?
It's like one of those things where you just like speak something into existence. Like I would start a class by like talking about like my boat ride over here and be like, so get ready to come to Boca's because when you all come to Boca's, like you also might see a dolphin or something. Or like teaching the Kiki, because like so much of the music that I use is stuff that I like genuinely hear when I'm out. Would be like, this next track, I want you to visualize that you're at Marco and Vito and you just took a $4 tequila shot and you're
Okay.
about to like fucking
I
no.
didn't know that was a
but
queuing that was going on in there.
but no, so it was a lot of just kind of like literally just like telling the class like, well, come visit me, like let's do it. And I see lots of retreats happen around me too. So it was kind of like, well, I can do that. Like I'm watching people bring groups of people in all the time. And like they don't even necessarily always have the same like, core pool of people that they're like pulling from. So it's like what a perfect opportunity. I have been, living here long enough to like know what to do, know where to stay, know what to eat. And it just seems like the perfect way to kind of like share more of myself with the gym and give people a really, really cool experience.
Yeah, because of the awesome job that you did at the Panama retreat, we decided to pivot and start calling ourselves a hybrid gym, which includes in real life meetups and retreats, thanks to Coach Taylor. So give it up for Coach Taylor on that one. That was also cool because that was our first time actually meeting in real life. So
Yes.
you Taylor in my pants because I told you I had so much PTSD about retreats. And then on top of that, I'm meeting you for the first time 2, 3 days before everybody else flew in, and I'm like, "I'm about to meet this random ass person in Panama. Never met them, like, they're also my employee, there's another, like, layer to it," and I think we nailed it.
I think so too. And like it really like it could have gone so wrong in so many ways. Like our we were scammed on Airbnb or whatever. Like the place to stay, we couldn't actually stay in. We had to like regroup, book a different place for one night, and then book a different place for the next night. And then that that hotel literally was like going out of business the next day. So like water was off and they're like, and we're like, we're checking out. They're like, we don't exist anymore. Like I don't know
I
if you
remember that.
remember that part. That was like so crazy. And so I was like, oh my God. I thought it was really like reassuring of like, well, if we can do this,
Yeah,
we got it, Like the rest of the trip is gonna be like fucking easy.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I really wanna thank you for helping me get out of my comfort zone with that and showing what's possible, and it was an amazing experience, and I know we're planning our second one now. It's a thing, and it's because you pitched it, you made me a little uncomfortable, you were giving me back some of that love. But, that's how it should be, like, a good teammate should help you grow, so I appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah.
You crushed the retreat, and then we got I talk about the low hanging fruit to get your shit together, and then there is a higher hanging fruit, which I think started off with like finances. So then I got the idea that we should create a third tier program, basically because I had a lot of clients, yourself included, that had just crushed their fitness and nutrition goals and were starting to share other goals that weren't necessarily about fitness and nutrition, but required similar habits and accountability. So I was like, I've done that. I think I can help you do that too. And it just kind of rolled out organically. And again, I was like, hey, Taylor, I think you should join this program because I think we could do some work. And eventually, you might help me coach that tier as well. So take me through what that was like for you.
Okay, so again, another like very vulnerable moment because it's like, okay, this bitch already knows what I eat. Now she's about to know like what I spend money on. Like it's also crazy. Like she's gonna be like, this is what the good money that I send you goes to. No. No. It was, I mean, at that point we had like built up like so much trust. I think. Okay, so at that point I'd been working for you for like about a year and a half. And like that already in that last year and a half, even without like the guidance, just like been able to like create like so much more stability for myself than like I had been leading up to like moving here. But I still was like pretty reliant on my credit cards. They're just in the habit of like using them because I was like, that's what I do. I put things on my credit card and I pay a minimum and like why wouldn't I do that? I also just like had never given any thought of to like how am I going to like save for any type of like future like again the financial health, like what do I want my future to look like, how can I feel like financially healthy, do the things that I want to do now but also know that I'm like setting myself up to like be okay in the future. And we looked in at everything. I had to put all my shit on a spreadsheet, give myself like I had never really worked with a budget before. I was like the budget is this amount. Why would I need to make it more specific than that? Or why would I need to like look at that? So I think I was in some ways like reluctant, like knowing again, it was like I know that I need this, but like I'm scared to do it. And I'm scared that it's going to feel limiting instead of like empowering. And yeah, I mean, in that time, I don't even know how much like credit card debt I paid off in that time, but I know that my credit score went up like quite a bit back into like the mid 700s after like being at 700 or below for like a little while, and set me up with like an actual like way that I can continue to save for emergencies, save for the future, save for trips. I don't know. It really just came down at like having somebody that was able to like look at the shit with me and say like, this is what we got, this is what you want. How do we like baby step like make this happen?
I remember that of you being like, budget, and I'm like, what do you mean budget? Question mark. Like, but yeah, we got a good little budget going for you. The cats even have their own budget. Paid off all your credit card debt. The big one was the recent one of figuring out your tax situation and getting a game plan going for that. I
Yeah.
know, gross, but also the fun one was taking vacations that are pretty much prepaid,
Yeah.
not on
Yeah.
credit cards.
True. Yes.
So sorry, not to be
That was
annoying.
definitely a big win. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
successful.
Well, I don't want to say I'm jealous, but like, man, I wish I had this information at your age because low key, you're living a lot of people's dreams. You're queer, you're out as fuck, you're living in paradise, you're doing it in a way where you're able to thrive and travel and meet people and connect. And like, you're not even 30, like, you're crushing it. And a big part of that is because you are willing to put yourself in uncomfortable situations for the sake of growth. And like, it sucks, but you know, it's good for you. So you go ahead and do it. And I think you've crushed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't been alone, obviously. So thank you for like the time and the extra trust and the extra like investment in me. Appreciate it.
Well, I've gotten good at making good investments. I mean, after like working with so many people that say they want to change their life, you get pretty good at calling out bullshit when you see it. So my last question is, if you could send a message back to old you pre-queer gym, what would you say?
Into the queer gym, I don't know. Like it would be it's hard to say that I would like have changed anything, to be completely honest. Again, like just the timing was so right. Like I was able to like find the queer gym again right when it was like ready for me. I think that like the slow burn kind of like my first year of like progressively like, getting more responsibilities within the gym, getting trained in different facets of the gym on my own personal like kind of journey. I don't know. There's nothing that I could have told myself before. I don't know. I wouldn't go back in time and be like, you should start food logging right now. Because it's like, no, that probably would have been like a disaster. I like had a great like coach and community to like get me through it. I'm like, low key, like wouldn't change a thing. Like this, like all happened exactly the way I needed it to happen, like when I needed it to happen.
I would say from the shit I went through, blowing up the old version of the gym to what it's today, I think I've really learned to appreciate doing it right versus doing it twice.
Mm,
And even though it's a slower process, it definitely feels more fun, more aligned. I just remember getting up and just crying because I was like, I do not want to jump on this fucking meeting. I did not look forward to coming to work, and it
yeah.
was cool. We built this thing that like gives me so much fucking anxiety in the morning. So it's been cool to grow it with intention, to grow it with joy at the center, and to have an awesome team that helps bring the vision to life and like brings their own ideas and follow through on those ideas and execution on those ideas. I don't often see a help with the follow through. So mental and helping the gym be what it is today. Like clients aren't here to say it, so I'm gonna say it for them. Like they fucking love you. Yeah, you definitely made a huge impact on not just the queer gym, but all the clients and all the fucking vibes. So thanks.
Feels good. I love them too. There wouldn't be a point without them. Like obviously, they're like
Yeah.
the best part.
Well, anything else you want to say before we dip out?
I'm grateful to be here. Just excited to keep growing and keep doing the thing and keep seeing like what kind of like new ideas or old ideas done again or like whatever like we've got coming up. So I'm super excited for the next retreat, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I like that at the beginning of this year, you asked me like what's the goal for this year? And I was like, Fun,
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
fun. Like we're cool, we're stable, we're chilling. Like let's just have fun this year. Like why can't that be a goal? Why can't that be the finish line? You know. So fun times ahead, that's for sure. Thanks again, Coach Taylor, for coming through and for everything that you do for the community and your impact on
Thank
the.
you.
Can you just like show off your background so y'all can see what the
Yes.
I have to look at these fucking team meetings? I'm over here in snowy ass fucking Salt Lake City, and Taylor's over there just chilling in fucking paradise. No big deal.
No big deal. I'm like, this is only a medium nice day. Like, not to rub it
This is just medium half nice.
in.
All right, Taylor. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate everything you do here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.